Taj Burrow, 35, Yallingup Beach, Western Australia.
Julian Wilson, 24, Coolum Beach, Australia.
Well, here we are. We started with 36, and we are down to 2. Taj Burrow and Julian Wilson in our final. They have met 9 times before, and Taj Burrow has won 7 of those 9 meetings. The last time that Julian Wilson got the jump on him was in round 4 of the Billabong Pro in Rio last year. But right now, none of that matters. It might as well be 0-0. These guys have both dominated and put on amazing performances. They're not thinking about what happened before. They're thinking about right now here at the Hurley Pro.
That shot showed how low it's at the moment, isn't it? It's very low tide. Interesting, I think the rights in the last little period of time have started to outshadow the lefts, and it's Taj Burrow who's paddled out from that, well, our northern side of the bank, who's got the inside position at this side for the rights. Julian Wilson sitting a little bit further to the south. Looks like Taj, to me, has a more dominant position in the lineup at this point in time.
So, Barton, in your experience on tour, when you were in heats leading up to the final series and then obviously the final, were the nerves a lot different once you got into a final, that last heat of the event?
Well, there's a sense of accomplishment for just getting there. But deep down inside, you know that second's not what you want. I saw Taj while Julian was in his semi-final, and Taj was lying down on the ground, had a towel rolled up as a pillow under his head, had his eyes closed, and was just off, resting, relaxing, conserving energy, getting focused while Julian was surfing. So I think Taj has had a little more time to compose. The second semi-final, you don't get that time. You sort of come in, you've got 30 minutes, you re-wax, you have a chat to your coach, get your stuff ready and back out there. So I think Taj, it may be in a little more of a composed position. Julian's got his hands up there because he wants this thing to start. He's seen those smaller inside rights and he's ready to get going on them.
Yeah, he's a little upset. He's looked at 2 waves now really intently, and the heat hasn't started yet. I think the judges' computer system or something, they got to get up to speed before they can start it. But take a look there on screen right now. Julian Wilson's results this year, you know, a 5th has been his best so far. So now at least a 2nd best result of the year. When we looked at Taj's just a moment ago, he's in 5th in the world right now. And, you know, with Jordy having bowed out before, he took him down, Kelly, Mick, Joel. The results haven't really changed there. But Taj is going to make a move and really become a part of that title situation, and we are on.
Here it is, we are on, and you knew that he was going to take it to him.
Well,
and Julian Wilson deciding, I saw what you did to Jordy, not this time. And he manages to go on this left. A few nice foam climbs to start things off. He's in the little seaweed section on that inside.
Well, a good opening wave from Julian, and he just did exactly what Taj did to Jordy. He stuck it to him. He's like, you're not getting this wave off me, buddy.
And he got down underneath him and got the better jockeying for position. Interesting to see that. I saw that anger in Julian at the start. Here it is on replay. Look, arm to arm, bashing each other, hitting rails with their hands. But Julian clearly getting the right of way, and it was a good wave. Beautiful foam climb there, comes round, snaps out of the pocket. That wasn't, you know, a high-scoring manoeuvre, just keeping some rhythm. But through here, it starts to stand up again, and he gets a couple nice little Rios in there. Well surfed, great starter, and good aggression at the start to show the old guy, hey, I'm not here to mess around.
What did you call him before? You said a different kettle.
Different kettle of fish.
Well, check this out. There's full contact in this paddle battle right here. And Barton, when there's no priority at the beginning of a heat, you can fuss and knock someone out of the way and actually bump rails and touch each other. But if there was a priority situation in place and you're touching the other competitor, you're going to get a triangle. But no priority. I love these battles like this.
And you see there for a period, Taj was looking at the right. His eyes were on the right. He was looking for the right, going, I think that's the best way. I think that's the best way. Julian only had eyes for the left because he knew Taj was on that side of him. And by going left, he was going to take him out of the picture.
Well, we heard in one of our pieces throughout this event, CJ Hobgood, a great quote. He says, you have to eliminate those opportunities for your competitor. And that's exactly what he's talking about in these man-on-man situations. You have to not only surf really well on the waves that you do take, But when you have the opportunity to eliminate an opportunity for your competitor, that's a huge piece of the puzzle.
And he did that so well there. I thought he was a little bit angry with the judges for not starting. And he really, if he caught those couple of little rights he wanted, he would have missed that left, because that left was the best wave that's come through while they've been out in the water. Scores coming through.
Well, the score dropping for Julian Wilson, and there the scale has been set, a 6.67. Julian doing well. After that rail bumping and the swapping of paint, to put that first turn up there real quick, then a nice big foam climb, and to make the most out of that little left. Well, we've had a 7-day window. We've competed for 5 days, 51 heats of competition, 36 competitors here, really at the supreme elite level of pro surfing competition. They've battled in 2-man heats, in 3-man heats, to determine the ultimate Hurley Pro champion. And this top 7 has not disappointed, as Julian Wilson quickly goes back to work, but that wave not really having much on offer.
Well, Taj has got priority, so he's looking for that second one. He figures I may as well get a second score. He wasn't sure if it had run, it might have been a good little 5 or something like that you can start to build your campaign on. A 6.67 is a great score to get going.
Well, Barton, from what we've seen in this event, Taj has gotten his big scores on linking multiple maneuvers together, whether it be a right or a left. Julian, on the other hand, has shown us that X factor in that aerial surfing, where he's gotten 9-point rides from that one maneuver. Now, he could take off on something under Taj's priority, and if he gets the right opportunity, right section, he goes to the air on one of those big moves, and he's going to be able to make a score, under Taj's priority on not the best wave.
Taj looking for his 12th victory on the World Championship Tour. And of course, Julian, as we mentioned earlier, would be looking for his second. Taj, 2 victories last year. And of course, that big one at the Coldwater Classic. Heat handicapper, whose one is this?
This is me here. I gave the strategy and the experience to Taj Burrows. That was a no-brainer. Airs I gave to Julian, although we know Taj has got him, but he's not basing his competitive performances in that, and Julian definitely has that. That's where the X factor was, and I gave that to Julian as well. When it came to turns, I figured they both got the turns, so I left that as even. 3 apiece sets it up as a very tight final, but I love Julian's start, and I like the fact that he got in there and bumped some shoulders and went, boys, this is what it takes to win, mate.
It really gives a good energy to the man-on-man situation in the water. I mean, are they even talking to each other? Is there anger? Is Taj pissed off? I love that kind of energy.
I don't think Taj can be pissed.
No.
He's got to know that, okay, it worked once on Jordy, and clearly Julian knew it was coming. He knew it was coming, and he set himself up and reacted accordingly.
And he's positioning in the lineup, which is what Jordy failed to do, was position properly as that wave came for him. He positioned perfectly, and it really was the positioning of someone with a lot more experience.
It was. It's always good to see that kind of enthusiasm from both surfers, where they're just going for that wave as it comes in like that. And Julian's. We'll see how this heat ends up with scores and everything, but that could very well count as one of the scores in this final. I have a feeling we'll see some bigger ones out.
Well, of course, the World Tour, an international field made up of Australians, Americans, Brazilians, South Africans, Tahitians. But wouldn't you know, here on the shores of the United States of America, we would end up with 2 Australians.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing, boys.
And I see some bumps out the back as Julian takes this insider. You can hear whistles out the back, and you can see that thing stacking. Will Taj be in position? Meanwhile, Julian throws a beautiful reverse at the end, and that wave too fat.
Well,
too fat.
That's an interesting little twist right there, because Julian, not having priority, said, hey, here's a nice medium-sized one. I'm going to take it because Taj is going to get this set wave. But the set waves haven't proven to be the best waves. So a great opportunity there for Julian, and here goes Taj Burrow on his backhand.
Blows the tail out of the lip, another blow tail re-entry, and a third. Good power, good strength, good commitment. There's a 4th one. That was a good scoring ride. Julian's will be great to see that, because I couldn't help but look at Taj, because I'm going, oh, look at this one behind. The one behind was one of the biggest waves of the day, but unfortunately for Taj, it just went fat. Julian, he got a nice first turn pump, got a little air on it, so wow, this is exciting.
I got a little bit of I got a level 2 goosebump situation going because we just came into the knowledge of we have a heat on our hands.
And let's take a look at these replays, boys. So Julian gets this medium one, nice right-hander. It has a section as he takes off, which gives him some nice downline speed. Jams that turn. I like that. He's throwing a lot of water and then just sets up confidently for the tail blow, spins it around. Now, I can't wait to see Taj's answer after we take another look here, because there was something about Taj's turns that just had a little extra to him. Julian, with a great maneuver right there, is going to back up that 6.67, but I have a feeling that Taj's score for that left is going to come in pretty high, and Barton, you can tell us why. There was just something to it.
Yeah, spicy, as Rob Machado says. Here we go, powers off the bottom, vertical, blows the tail out. Drives off the bottom again, another vertical one. This is the best wave of the final so far, no doubt about it. And because there was consistent flow, one to the next, to the next, to the next, 3 big ones, a last little one on the whitewater there. He knows it's a good one. Julian's wasn't as good as what we expect from him as we watch this slow-mo. Out of the top.
Full commitment there, you know, throwing the tail out and then straight into the bottom turn for another one, and just giving it that little bit of extra.
To be able to have gone through the high and low of that big set wave that was so fat, and then being able to put himself in position and shake that away and do this shows that Taj Burrow has come to play.
Well, I think that it fires a guy like Taj up. He gets on that one left and he's like, that wasn't it, but here it is. And then this is Julian's 6.67 from earlier. So about exactly 2 points difference from what Taj Burrow just did. 8.67 for Taj's left. This one, a 6.67.
And of course, Julian getting a 6 to back up from the right that he got. So right now, as it stands, Taj Burrow sitting on that 8.67 and a 0.5. Only needs a 4 to get back into this thing.
That was a great example of why our sport is so difficult. Because really for Taj, when Julian got that right, he got the fat one, you think, that was a big mistake. There's a big turning point. But Mother Nature had that next one, which the first wave had smoothed the face out, drawn the water out, allowed that second one that Taj got to stand up straight. And he wasn't banking on that being there. He didn't know it was going to be there. It was just luck, really, that Mother Nature had positioned that one there. Sure, your actions put you where you need to be to capitalise on that, but that's one of those examples where you go, really to that point, Julian had done everything right in this final.
Absolutely.
And it looked like Taj was a little out of sorts when he didn't get that one with priority and it went fat and you thought, oh, this is going Julian's way, but then all of a sudden, bang, bang, there you are. Taj Burrow fires up 8.67 and he's got the only keeper so far. To have a keeper at this point in time is such a valuable thing, because really for Julian, he's starting again, and here he is right now.
With priority, Julian going back to work and surfing this thing with some ferocity. Big blowtail and recovers and smashes that end section. Well, and you hear
hold on.
The claps from Team Julian. 35 minutes in this final, and it is simple and hard at the same time. Catch the 2 best waves, and you win the Hurley Pro.
Well,
sounds easy on paper.
Yeah.
Taj has got one of those really good waves, an 8.67. He bettered Julian's best wave by 2 points. I'm done nitpicking about where that's at as far as like how high the judges win or whatever. I think Taj's wave was better. So he's got the best wave of the final. And Julian is in the lead with his 2 scores. You know, he's been much busier. But I do agree with Barton there. I think Taj is very much in the driver's seat with having that one keeper thus far.
Here's this one of Julian's, pumping, driving, snapping out of the top. Drives off the bottom, and as you said, ferocity was the word there. You can see he heard the 8.67. He went, I've got work to do, let's do it. 3 big turns, nice air, quite possibly his best wave, but not as good as Taj's, I wouldn't think. But look at this on this angle of replay. Drives off the bottom. This is the beautiful bottom turn to top turn, tail blow. Makes it easy. A little moment of disconnect there if you're being as critical as you need to be at this level in a final like this, and then the last closeout re-entry. Gosh, these guys are good.
And here we are, back to live action. And now Taj getting busy on a left-hander. Big blowtail smash. It's stuck behind that section. And he's redirecting, hoping that this wave will stand up on the inside, but it's really one turn and out.
And you can see on this one, the difference here was there wasn't a wave in front of it. Beautiful backhand re-entry, textbook. Just look at that composure and style in the lip. Great stuff. But it was bumpy and lumpy because nothing had cleaned it out like on his previous left. So it that's what made it difficult. Oh my.
Well, Julian Wilson has now answered. His score comes through in 8.27. That puts him right on par, just below Taj Burrow's wave. Now the story is being told. They both have that 8-point ride as a keeper. Julian's the one with the backup now. Now the heat gets really interesting because it's up to Taj to be able to answer. And now in a final, obviously like any other heat, you don't just want that 6-2-7 at this point. He needs to go combine his 8-point rides. He wants another wave that high.
Well, that is an unbelievable answer back, and that's exactly what he needed to do. That shows maturity.
That forehand rip,
Yeah.
he did that ferociously, and I think the judges love the fact that right after that he ripped that big nose pick front Rio with control and style, got another one at the end. I like what the judges did there between those solid turns of Taj and then that ferocious sort of progression from Julian.
I do too. I think that's great scoring right there. I was actually looking at them as they dropped in. As you can see, Johnny Gannon on screen right there. He's Taj's, buddy and also nutritionist, helps him train. He's got to be very proud that they've gotten this far. And now, the pressure's on Taj Burrow to come up with that backup score or potentially a better score, but 20 minutes remaining, you guys. They have plenty of time in this final. We've already seen some great action, and I love being in the booth with you guys because I love this stuff, man. I just love these finals, and when it heats up like this, it's so much fun to watch.
And you gotta love that these guys just both have gotten up for it and they've come to play. They love being in this position and putting on a show for this record crowd here on the beach. It's a Wednesday in Southern California. This beach is littered, and our numbers are through the roof for those people watching around the web and, of course, on Oceanic Cable and Time Warner Cable around the world. We're so happy that all of you decided to join us for what we knew was going to be a showdown, and here we are 15 minutes in, and these guys have not disappointed one bit.
Let's not forget the Aussies there at Fuel TV down there in Australia. They'll be stoked because either way the trophy's coming back to Australia. Both of those trophies are coming home to Australia, so that's good news. And great to see Julian Wilson answer back like that. We've talked about, Miguel Pupo said in that same package you were referring to, that you've got to make the judges feel it. And we felt it in here, the judges felt it, and the scores dropped. And that shows the fight in the young man. Incredible.
I'd like to just quickly thank Lower Trestles because, it always delivers. It's been a great day. And actually, when we rocked up this morning and Pat O'Connell was having to make that decision, it really didn't look as good as it's turned out to be. And obviously, the talent that we've had is what makes this show so awesome to watch. But Lower Trestles delivering even with minimal swell in the forecast and in the water right now. But we're still getting great rides.
There were some periods today where I was with Pat O'Connell and he was stressed, just pacing. We had the one restart. We had some long gaps where guys were sitting for 10 minutes, and he didn't know whether to go on hold or what to do. We had just, the tide of the race starting to drop, and we still had those long lulls. And like you said, Lower's just hanging in there. There's really not any swell in SoCal right now. I mean, the buoy's at about 1.5 feet at best from what Pat was saying. But if it's out there, Lowers will pull it in.
And it's rare that you get a wave that's just got such good form at that size, hasn't it? It's just got this perfect form, and the fact that we've got lefts and rights, calves and airs, it's just the full mixed platter of everything you want to see in professional surfing right here.
And in any contest, Barton, you put on contests for the kids over in Australia, and it's like you just want them to to be able to have opportunity. That's a key word that comes up as a contest director or when you're involved in these events. Do they have opportunity? And we've had plenty today, so it's been a great day of action.
Julian Wilson with the priority.
Looking left.
Yeah, he decides to use it, Sal.
Yeah, looking left and then looking right. And really good of him to decide to take this. It looks like it's got a nice section and just spinning to win.
He doesn't need much, does he?
That's what I'm talking about. There's plenty of opportunity for Julian out there. I mean, he doesn't need much of a section at all. Huge air move.
So with priority, looking to improve on a 6.67. The judges will tell us whether it was a mistake or not. But a 6.67, there wasn't much in it besides the air reverse. He's handed priority over to Taj Burrow. That could be a mistake. We'll know when the scores drop, but maybe not the wave you need as there's bigger sets approaching. Taj is looking. He's got a decision to make.
And he opts to go left, looking for a 6.27, a nice big smash on that first turn. Throwing a big bucket of water and putting all he could into that third turn as he's hoping for this wave to stand up. Is it going to be a 6.27?
Well, Johnny Gannon on screen right there loves it, and the fans for Taj clapping. His old shaper Maurice Cole right there looking on intently. Matt Biolis right there on screen, the man that made his surfboard. So, hey, that was a set wave, right? That was one of the nicer waves we've seen today. He surfed it extremely well, throwing a lot of spray. There wasn't the tail slides maneuvers as his other wave that he got the 8.67 on, but some good surfing, Barton.
Well, we've learned a lot from the replays because it's always different. When you see exactly what I mean. In real life, I didn't think it was as spicy as it looks right there. He's ripped the bag out of this one, and you watch his energy in here. Give it to me. Come on, now, one more. You know, you can just feel it. He wants it, and he knew he had to amp it up at the back end there to make it happen and get the score.
Well, we saw Matt Biolis on screen a moment ago. He made this Mayhem surfboard for Taj Burrow, and I feel like these two competitors that are in this final have great surfboards under their feet, and you can just tell Taj is so confident, driving off the bottom, just ripping it off the top right there. Great spray. Wow. Great extension with the back foot. I'm interested to see what the score comes in at because Julian has just been scored for this wave, Sal, a 6.27.
So he didn't improve. It was a mistake. And right behind it, Taj Burrow's got a good set that if Julian was on, the rhythm would be completely different. If the scores come through and Taj gets enough to go into the lead, Julian will be looked back on that and go, there was a mistake. He's paddling. He sees something himself. Great to see Mother Nature coming to the party as well and giving these guys, as you said, Sax, lots of opportunity. Taj was trying to suck in. Taj wanted him to go that one, son?
He did.
Taj was like, let me sell you this. Come on, stop me. Come on.
But that's one thing about Julian that I've noticed, his maturity and him learning from his mistakes. He knew, okay, you got to compose yourself. Don't get, he knows that Taj just put up a score. He can hear the beach reaction. He saw the spray flying out the back. So he's got to calm himself down and go, I need a good wave to better my 6.67. He's going to have an ask when Taj's score comes through.
Yeah, Taj's score, if I throw a number out there, I'm thinking mid-sevens, somewhere like that. At first, I didn't think so, watching it in real time. Watching it on the replay, I started to appreciate it more and more. So I think it'll be a mid-7 score in my mind, which is really going to throw him into the lead and make Julian rue the use of that priority.
I think you're going to be exactly right on the score.
Fingers. What have we got? A 7.5, a 7, a 7.5, an 8, a 7.33 for Taj Burrow. And the Warhorse, 16 years on tour, has gone into the lead.
Back and forth and back and forth, and that's what you want in this final.
Yeah, Taj doesn't look happy with that score.
No, he thought it was better. He was feeling it on that wave. A 7.33, I think the judges got it pretty darn good right there.
The first two turns, critical and straight up. He put an extra spice into that end section that didn't really have a lot of wall on it, but most of the work was probably gotten done out the back, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and I think he's disappointed because he knows that compare that 7.33 to the 6.67 and they're kind of similar. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he didn't get the opportunity to distance himself as much as he would have liked to have distanced himself from Julian. And here's Jules having a look at this one.
Here he is up on a little right.
What?
And that might have been a mistake. That's the one that you use your priority on.
That was disappointing to even watch. I saw, Barton was starting to say, oh, here he goes, and I thought, why is he going on this wave? And then I started looking around for the priority disc. Like, did he lose priority before that? He didn't. He just gave it up right there. And, I mean, you really can't do that in these kind of clashes when it's so evenly matched and so evenly scored.
Not against this guy.
Not against anyone.
Not against anyone.
On this tour.
But not against Taj Burrow. He didn't get 11 wins coming into this point on World Tour by accident. And he sure as heck didn't get here to this final because he isn't a seasoned competitor who's not going to take advantage of a mistake like that.
Well, we saw yesterday Julian was able to turn a couple of closeouts into what I would, they were mid to high nines in the last heat yesterday. That 7.33 really, Taj is disappointed. We saw him splash water because that, in a final, a consistent final with waves as a throwaway. So he felt like, I've got my second score. I'm in a good position. He heard it come down. He went, it's not a second score. It's barely better than the one of Julian's, and it's really keeping things tight.
Well, we can talk about it all day long. How about we take a look at it? Here's a comparison between Taj's two best waves, and we'll split screen them. The left is the 867, the right is the 733.
Oh, these are both the Taj's lefts right here. You can see there's way more spice on that one, right? I mean,
yeah, second turn on the right-hand side of our screen was definitely better, as was the third. And that's where the scores have come from. What's the inside got? And again, the inside work's not as valuable. It's not going to score as much. Obviously, the inside on this one, on the left-hand side of the screen, was better, but it was the outside work on the right-hand side of the screen that was better. Yeah. Consequently, the high score. Julian Wilson's up on something.
Well, that's probably why Taj is a little bit frustrated, because he feels like he got so much more out of the 7.33. But, in a scoring criteria, those maneuvers that he did on the other one were much more critical. He'll agree with that when he watches the replay, I think.
Well, in the heat of battle, you're going to get fired up. There's going to be emotion, and you're not going to see things perhaps as clear. You want the biggest scores possible each and every time.
And if we reflect back to CJ Hobgood, not getting the score that he wanted, splashing some water, looking angry, got the last wave of the heat. We didn't think he got the score. Maybe dropped to 7-8, won the heat because he challenged the judges. And maybe in there's a little bit of gamesmanship on Taj's behalf. Like, what? Come on, mate. So next time around, they're more likely to maybe go a little higher than they might. You never know. They're only human. They're just like us, mate. And they're influenced.
The Marines are liking it. They said, hey, when we go back to base, why don't we fly over the Lowers Pro, the Hurley Pro, and see what's popping out there. In formation, no less.
Well, at the 10-minute mark, you guys, this is what we all came for, and this is the nitty-gritty now. Julian Wilson, he needs a 7.74 to overtake that lead from Taj Burrow. But currently, Taj Burrow out the back with priority, knowing he needs to better that 7.33, and he has a little bit more of a lesson of what it's going to take from that last ride, thinking that he might have got a little higher score. They only gave it a 7.33. Now he knows, okay, I know what you want. You want me to blow the tail out next time.
In a lot of ways, they've seen that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They go, we've seen that one, you've done it again, we've seen it, and maybe it's time. Taj has got some great scores on rights with those big forehand hacks and the snappy whip out of the top. Maybe it's time to start looking for a right.
Well, obviously, we talk about the impact of this seventh stop, and no matter what happens, as we've seen so much of a shakeup in that top five, no matter what happens, Taj will stay in that fourth position. But a win here for Julian Wilson bumps him all the way up to sixth. If he loses here, he moves up to eighth.
And when you look at the way how good Julian Wilson serves and you hear sixth, you go, well, that's where he belongs, maybe even higher up those ratings.
I agree. Yeah.
And just like that, our defending world champion, Joel Parkinson, is almost 10,000 points behind Mick Fanning. Only 1,200 between Mick and Kelly Slater. But here we are, back to action at hand. Julian was going to try and take this one under priority.
Well,
There. Oh,
All right, all's well that ends well for Julian Wilson, and he kind of sold that wave to Taj Burrow. He did take a little bit of action towards it, gave it a good look, made Taj think it was better than it was, and falling on that maneuver. He was never going to better a 7.33 had he even ridden out of that Air 360, but Julian just got his priority back, and he's just reset the heat in his favor with 8 minutes remaining.
and I see some bumps out the back. Is this thing going to be too fat? Will Julian be in position to do something with it?
wow, that's one of the biggest sets of the day, but we have seen the second ones be cleaner and better. Hold on, Taj on the inside. He's got a little runner. Well, not such little. Look, it's overhead.
Look at that on the way back out. Taj Burrow gets handed a gift. Blows tail on that second turn with a big wrap heading into the inside section. And this thing,
Julian outside, boys on the left, in and out. Wow, what a change.
jeez-o.
And there's another example of how strange and difficult our sport is. Taj makes a mistake with priority, no doubt a mistake. But on the paddle out, the mistake actually turns into something better than it could have been. Amazing. That's why as a competitor you can't beat yourself up too much over these heat wins and losses, because Mother Nature's a cruel master.
Well, there's only so much that you're in control of, and in surfing especially. Now, Julian Wilson was a little bit underneath that on the apex of it, at the peak. And, you'll see it right here, but he didn't like the way it looked. It looked kind of mushy, but then when it hit the cobblestone point, it stood up a little bit, and that's where Taj ended up with it.
And he was too far inside, wasn't he? He was never going to get that, because I don't think we've seen a set break that far out today.
And look at this thing. It just gets handed to Taj, right to him, perfect position, just behind, and smashes that first section.
Boom, and the second one was amazing too, Sal.
And that one, I love the way he wraps it back in there. So 3 turns in a row, tons of energy, a 4th little slash right there. Guys, this is going to be a big score right here for Taj. And the thing about it is Julian never even had a chance for that wave, even though he had priority and was out the back. Broke on his head, wasn't meant to be. It might be Taj Burrow's day.
Emotion party here in the final, swinging back and forth. We're waiting for the score to drop for Taj Burrow. It's going to be bigger than that 7.33. It's a question of how much. The judges taking their time. Richie Porter, our head judge, says if there's any judge
Here we go.
that isn't sure, we're going to make sure we watch it again to get it right.
Wow. Fully laid that out, stomped the tail, sent the spray to the heavens. This one blows the tail out the back. Wow. Beautiful surfing, great control, exactly what he needed at that point in time. And as you said, sometimes it's your day in Mother Nature. You're paddling out from a mistake and something pops up, and he's done it twice, and they've come to him, and he's got the rhythm of the ocean in a very strange way, not in a way that he's been in control of. It's come to him.
You look at that high score of the 8.67, where will it come in? As we wait for the score, an 8.40 for Taj Burrow. So he has increased his case.
He's got a little smirk on his face too.
He's like, what do I have to do to buy a 9 out here? That's what his body language is saying, at least.
Yeah, it absolutely is. He feels like he's getting short end of the stick there on the numbers, but the situation is still great for him. I mean, it's not as good as he would like it, because he'd like Julian to be in a combo situation, but the door is still wide open for Julian. He's posted huge scores. He only needs an 8.8.
And he's more than well aware that Julian got a 9-point-something yesterday for one air.
Yeah, 9.2 of them.
A 9.2, got 2 of them for one air, and he's only needing an 8.8 with 4 to go.
Now, keep in mind, though, an 8.80 has to be the best wave of this heat. He has to do better than Taj has done on his 2 high-scoring waves, so it's got to be pretty spectacular, but Julian Wilson has been delivering spectacular the entire time, and expect big things right here from Julian.
That's his middle name this week. It sure is. He's paddling, he's committed, and he's going. I don't know about this one. It doesn't look... You think about the size of this compared to the size of Taj's. Pumping, driving down the face, throws the air, figures that's what he needs. That's what the judges might like. That's not what he needs, in my opinion. I think it was too small a wave, and really, with 4 to go, you might be better off just playing it down to the wire and hoping Mother Nature gives you the bomb, because Taj Burrows he's had great waves on the 2 that he scored on. They've been smooth, clean and beautiful, and he has ripped them.
It looked like he had to paddle through a big kelp section that kept him from standing up initially. We'll see what that was in the replay. 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go. Who is going to be the 2013 Hurley Pro champ?
Guys, I gotta say, you know, Julian's pulling off these airs with ease now, and I'm starting to get the feeling like, well, I've seen that. Well, the ones that he did the other day were phenomenal, but he's done a couple just like this. He bones that one out a little bit more, so he deserves a bigger score. Julian's score coming through right now. It's going to be a good one. That was a very difficult maneuver, and he made it with ease. A 7.7. He's still requiring that 8.80. So it's going to take a little bit more. We need to see something more from Julian.
Well, the messages from the judges are, you do a big air, we'll give you the score. Because he's getting big scores for airs in comparison to what we know he's capable of that are in the middle ground, really, and the scores are high and really well rewarded. So all he needs is a set wave, do the same thing, and he will get the score for sure.
Yeah.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Jesus,
and just a little bit of change. If somehow or another, almost 35 minutes have gone by. We are going to crown a champ.
Hey, let's put another 35 on the clock.
Yeah. Let's do some more.
I can't believe I just talked about that air Julian just did like it was no big deal, because in the replay watching it, I mean, he just got inverted and threw it around and pulled it off so cleanly. But I will say that the judges say the same thing. They're like, it's got to be a bigger wave, like you said, BL. You got to add a little something more to it if you want to win this particular heat, this final. You need an 8.80.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see Taj Burrow. You can see he's just sitting on the other side of Julian there. I'd be playing a little cat and mouse, because in 1 minute and 20 seconds, Taj does not need to ride another wave. He just needs to make sure that if one comes through, Julian doesn't get it.
1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Taj Burrow has been wanting to win at lowers for over a decade. In 2008, Kelly Slater snatched that opportunity from him with only 30 seconds to go in the heat. He was right there, and he has never forgotten that loss. He comes up against Julian Wilson, who has just been the most informed all week. Will something happen to swing that, or will Taj Burrow finally get this win he's wanted so much? And we see some bumps out the back with 30 seconds to go.
Well, if you would have told Taj Burrow in 2000 when he first did this contest, when he got 5th, it's going to take you 12 years to get on that podium and hold up that trophy, I doubt he would have stuck with it. But here he is in a commanding position, 20 seconds remaining. Looks like Taj is going to use priority here.
Leaving Julian out the back. What's Taj going to do? Will he improve? Nice snap. No, he won't. Will Mother Nature give Julian a chance? That's all it's coming down to now. Julian's paddling. Time ticking down.
Not enough time.
Oh, there's a siren. Taj Burrows.
Wow, and there's a huge celebration. Very deserved champion is Taj Burrow.
What a final. Could we have asked for a better final? I do not think so.
And for Julian Wilson, I mean, performances after performances throughout this event, and a great result for him. He was very close in this final, but it was just Taj Burrow's day. I mean, the way that wave was delivered to him by Mother Nature, you know, under Julian's priority and everything, it was his day. It was his contest to win.
To be able to throw away priority the way he did on that fall, and then just be handed a gift, perhaps some larger powers were at work. And it's a tale right now of two different emotions. You see Julian out there stunned. But once they get Taj over this death section of rocks, he is going to get cheered up. You don't want to get cheered up in this section, but he is going to get the chair that he deserves. And with that momentum, serious momentum, as we talk about what has been probably one of the best shakeups ever at this event for this world title hunt for 2013.
It's great to see the veterans who, put in the time, put in the work, stay committed, stay dedicated, work, given everything they've had for years and years, for decades, to come through. Taj Burrow has been a champion for a long time, but in a lot of ways this is a real crowning moment for him, because this is an event that he's wanted to win and he's finally done it. Look at him. I'm so happy for him. Good on you, mate.
I am so stoked for Taj.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Get him up, I got you, I got you.
Sweet.
Guys, just go slow. Slow.
Oh, you guys gonna be right?
That's rusty old hand.
Thanks, boys. Yes.
Well, guys,
Oh my God.
nothing that we could have said to put anything better on this moment for Taj.
Oh, it's so sick.
So deserving, Sachs. You said at the start, from day one, he has been in great form. We've forgotten about him quite a lot of the time because of this young man putting on such a great show. Look at the heartbreak there for Julian Wilson.
But he is going to learn from this, and he's just going to grow more dangerous in his power moving forward. But right now, in the showers, PK.
Yeah, a little shower talk with our Hurley Pro 2013 champion, Taj Burrow. Redemption, how does it feel?
It's so sweet. I couldn't be happier. I mean, I really put so much effort into this event, and it just feels so incredible when it actually unfolds and goes your way. I just felt like the good waves were coming my way, and I just kind of was in the zone, and it feels so good. I'm so glad to tick this one off the list. I really wanted it more than any.
Something you've been wanting for a long time.
100%. I mean, like I said, I had 2 second places, and one was really close with Kelly. He stole it in the last minute because it should have been a 35-minute final, and they made it 40. So that one tore me up for a while, and now I just couldn't be happier. I got it.
Looks like you got more intense and more dominating through the day. How do you pace yourself on a final day like this?
I was just hoping to kind of get things snowballing. I mean, I never put together like my best surfing, and I felt like I was just finding my feet more and more each heat, and the board that I had just got better and better, and I felt great towards the end. And that's how you kind of want an event to go, is peak at the right time, and I feel like I did. I felt great.
Did you notice there was another guy in the final named Julian Wilson who's been busting crazy airs all week? Did that play on you at all?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even with priority, if I saw a wedged out closeout coming, I probably would have taken it off him because I know what he can do. So, yeah, I was being as smart as I possibly could. There was so much strategy in that. And I thought I made a couple of errors, but they ended up helping me out. And, oh, man, I know Julian's really good, and I'm stoked for him. But happy for me.
Seems like you made your own luck. Congratulations, Taj. See you on the podium.
When you think about the full 35 minutes of this heat, guys, and that paddle battle at the top, where Julian sort of thwarted Taj from his initial strategy that he used so perfectly on Jordy, we thought, uh-oh, maybe he stopped the train. But to be able to recover the way he did and do whatever it was necessary, like you said, he said, I put so much into this. This is the one I've wanted more than anything.
Well, I think there's a few things there. I think that he said that he has to peak at the right time, which he's done. I mean, Julian won every other hard heat in this whole event, but to not win the final is going to sting. He's been the performer of the event. And second's a great result. We say it all the time, but for Julian, he wanted to win this thing. But Taj peaked at the right time. And like he said, the waves just came to him. He felt really lucky today, and we saw it in the final more than any other heat. That one set wave, that countered in his scoreline, that right-hander. I mean, that thing came right to him. So it was his day. Taj Burrow finally got the Hurley Pro Trophy, and I can't be happier for him.
Well, right from the outset, we were excited. We knew that it would be something special, and it did not disappoint as soon as the horn blew.
Julian Wilson got the better of that little opening exchange, and it looked like momentum was going his way. In the end, I was very, very impressed by the maturity and some of the decisions Julian made in that final. You can see him growing as a competitor. He'll be back, but it was Taj's day, as we said, and waves did come to him. There were situations where he thought he'd made a mistake. He turns around and bumps into a bomb, and twice he did do that, and they just get, some days you're on, some days they're yours, and he deserves it, mate, because you work your life to get that.
Look, both of the scoring waves that he ended up taking that win with came to him by chance. He had blown priority on a set wave before that last left, and then he just happened to be on the inside in the perfect spot to catch this right. It was absolutely his day.
And he went absolutely mad with each opportunity he got. And he was so fired up that he wanted more. He knew who he was in the final with in Julian. And when he only got the 7.33, he was like, come on, it should be an 8. And when he only got the 8, he said, come on, what do I have to do to get a 9? But in the end, you can't
buy that feeling,
exactly,
mate. The exhilaration of winning. I mean, in contrast to Julian coming in, look at him, the veteran, 16 years, waiting 12, as you said, Sax, for this moment. But he's had his seconds himself, and Julian will get his chance, and it's those seconds that make you hungry and determined for more.
And you just seen in the last year with Julian, every time he loses in the last year, he's gotten more powerful. He's learned from it. In the beginning, and as it's been for a lot of these guys who come in with so much hype, he got angry and he wasn't able to turn it into something. And right now, it's hard for him, but he'll move forward. But enough about me talking about it. He's going to be gracious enough to have a conversation right now with Jody. Jodes?
Julian, this is a great result for you. A final finish, runner-up here against Taj. What type of experience? What's your takeaway from this event?
Yeah, it's a great result. I would have loved to go one better. It was pretty tricky out there, and I made too many mistakes, and I just wasn't in rhythm. But yeah, had a good result, and yeah, it was a good day.
How important is strategy, in conditions like this, or just in a WCT event?
Yeah, it's really important. There's also the fact that you kind of, want to go big as well. So therefore, I don't know, I wasn't really looking for the perfect wave. I thought I could do something big on something that wasn't, perfect. I want to give myself more opportunities, but it bit me in the butt at the end.
Now you're moving up 4 spots. You'll be in number 7 in the world. What's your goals going into Europe?
Just keep moving up. Just keep moving up and try and win the next one.
All right. Well, there you have it, boys. Julian Wilson, runner-up here at 2013 Hurley Pro. Back to you, boys, in the booth.
Thanks, Jody. And right there, immediately being able to recognize what he did wrong and saying, all right, I'm going to take it and go and win the next one. That's not what the old Julian Wilson would do.
And he's so composed already. You know what I mean? It's a year-long campaign. You take the good stuff with the bad stuff. He is a dignified, grown-up young man now, and he understands what he did wrong. He knew that he'd made a couple of mistakes. And again, he just told us what he was thinking before the final. He underestimated what he needed to do from the perspective of wave selection. And to beat anyone, you've got to be on the best ones. There's no use in this day and age, and with the new perspective that the judges judge from, there's no use looking at it thinking, I don't need the best ones, I can get smaller ones and bust airs and get scores, because those days seem, at this point in time, to be over. You've got to be on the best waves and show that Waterman skills to get the big scores.
Well, I think he knew that was the difference in the end when he scored that 7.70 for that radical aerial maneuver comboed with a turn before that. it wasn't on a big enough wave. It wasn't on one of those good waves. And had he got a really nice one, you know, it would have gone his way. But that's the nature of our sport. And he acknowledged that he was out of rhythm, whereas Taj was in rhythm. But I got to say, my hat is absolutely off to Julian Wilson. He shocked me in this event. Really put together amazing performances. Pushed the bar of progressive surfing, and he's got to be happy. I know he's disappointed right now, but he's got to be happy with his overall Hurley Pro campaign.
And there's Taj with the family. And you think they're going to pop open a couple of beers tonight? I think so. And well earned.
Sharing a moment there with the fans. Great moments. It's, you know, that's what you miss. That exhilaration, that feeling of winning, like we said, you can't buy it, you can only earn it, and no one deserves it more than him.
Oh, you got a video?
Taj's grandmom made the big trip over.
Well, I used to kind of claim that Taj was from San Diego because his mom lives down. She was living down at Pacific Beach for a while, actually.
Right.
And I used to randomly see Taj around town. It used to just blow my mind. I'd be like, "Oh my God, I saw Taj Burrow!" So cool. So she made the trip up to see him, and that's awesome to have family around when you have a victory like that.
Virtual San Diegan.
Probably found the hallway there. Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at how this event has completely reshaped the World Tour race.
Well, we know now that a lot of the guys have got throwaways. Mick Fanning's, you know, he's got those 2 fifths and he got his first, you know, he's got his first throwaway, shall we say, here. And a fifth, you know, ideally you don't want to keep them either. So, you know, they're half the points more or less of a first. So, you know, it's this one really, we thought we'd come out of this event with a more defined idea of where the world title is going, and the complete opposite has happened. We're coming out of this event and there's even more guys in the race now, and things have tightened up even further.
Which is great for all of us surf fans, by the way. I think it's an awesome thing. I mean, I would have liked to have seen the story go the other way, maybe for Mick Fanning with that opportunity or Jordy Smith, but it makes it a lot more interesting for us fans. And going into Europe, there's going to be, you know, a whole new story going on.
See Julian Wilson's brother Bart giving some congratulations.
Well, there's Morris Cole giving him a hug. Those guys have had a long history because it was Morris who made his boards when he qualified to go on tour. It was Morris's advice to not go on tour. And the longevity that he's had now kind of proves that what they were thinking and how they structured his career was the correct thing, because he's still going as strong as ever.
And you think about it, Julian Wilson almost took a similar route. He could have easily just been that guy to shoot through the juniors and then just go and do the QS as hard as possible. But Julian, when he had the ability, decided, you know what, I'm going to surf the best waves in the world, much the way Taj did, make some video parts. He made his own video, and he felt like he had that sense of accomplishment, and then decided to take on the QS and qualified rather quickly, much the way Taj did.
I say it a lot. I think Julian's really smart. I think he's a really smart guy, you know, and he's gotten control of his emotions a little bit more now, because he used to just let a loss like this just eat him up.
Oh, would have destroyed him.
It sounds like now he's really focusing on like what he learns from it and moving on to the next event and saying, well, time to refocus and win that one. And back then, Sal, when he made that movie, Scratching the Surface, he was literally doing that, scratching the surface. And I remember hearing some interviews with him where he said, you know, I don't know if I'm ready for the tour yet. I want to kind of fine-tune my skills. So it's paying off now as we take a look back at Taj Burrow in his victory here at the Hurley Pro.
He really bashed the life out of that wave on those first 2 turns, and he was feeling it.
And when he got that 7-7 on the second left, we kind of, or 7-3-3, got on that second left, we kind of figured he needed to go right, and there he was on just the bomb right.
This one still is unbelievable. Like, you just fell. Critically, you fell like, oh my goodness, I just left the door open. You paddle back out, and the best right of the day, straight to him. He just had to turn around, stick his tail in, and go.
It's kind of like Mother Nature was like, you dingy. Not that one, this one. So it was definitely his day. I love it. I love moments like that right there in sports.
I'll never know what that feels like, but it sure looks good. And I'm down to live vicariously through Taj Burrow today, as he is getting set, he and Julian, to make their way to our stage for the final presentation.
I wonder what the energy was like in the water off of that first paddle battle with Julian and Taj, because I know they're buddies and everything, and everyone's all smiles now. But I wonder how the vibe was out in the lineup.
I'm right behind him.
Well, you know it was tense. Julian looked tense right before the thing even started, when he was upset that they hadn't started it.
Yeah,
And
there was
kind
a lot of
looked at
emotion
yeah.
that started that heat, especially for Julian.
Guys, we've been talking about points so much this week that I forgot about one really big point. Taj Burrow's about to get handed a check for $105,000.
That's nice.
That is baffling to us who used to win five.
I just saw you have a flashback to your career.
No, you know what I thought? In my head, I went, I won 17 of them. What?
Yeah.
You know, and I thought, well, wowza. And we used to get $5,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you look at that 105, and that's what these athletes deserve. That's what the boys deserve, because they are amazing athletes. They compete in an environment that is unlike any other environment in professional sport. And, you know, right up there because they deserve it. And that's one of the great things about Hurley, because they have stepped up and put that money in.
Indeed they have, and in turn they pushed the rest of the industry to raise the money. Well, enough about that. Let's see some trophies and some checks get handed out. We'll throw it down to Peter King.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podium. Let's hear it for these guys. What you saw all week. My name is Peter King. I've had a blast working with the webcast and the broadcast, but you guys got to see this stuff live. Nothing quite like it right here at Lower Trestles, one of, you know, basically the holy grail of California surfing and one of the most precious spots in California. Thank you guys for making it down. I know it's not easy to park, to walk, and thank you for respecting the environment down here and everything like that. So it's a small crowd, not like some of the other events that have huge beach crowds, but we like this crowd, so give yourselves a hand too. You guys did a great job. Also, just want to thank some of our sponsors real quick, because without them, we can't make this happen. I'd also like to thank the judges. If you like the way some of your surfers did, thank the judges. It's one of the highest paid jobs in the world, being an ASP judge. You guys might want to look into it. I don't know why they're laughing over there and up there. But these guys do a great job. You'll need to have Bob Hurley make your way up here, Rob Machado, Pat O'Connell. I'd like to thank Hurley, the athletes, the fans, that's you guys. FlexFit, Freestyle, Dragon, Sambazon, FCS, Chipotle, Whole Foods, St. Archer Brewery, Harmless Harvest, IntelliSkin, Surfing Magazine, Surfline, Kawasaki, Sticky Bumps. Rob, hit your mark. Bob, hit your mark. Oh, we need a phone book for Pat O'Connell. Anybody? No, I had to do it. I just lost $5,000 probably right there. I'd like to thank also Logan Surfboards, Mark and Dave Surf Camp, Kawasaki, and of course this host venue, California State Parks Association. And on behalf of that, our keepers of this sacred zone, I want to bring up Steve Long, retired superintendent, visitor services chief, and Barry Berg, president of the San Onofre Foundation. These guys care about Trestles and you. You can do your prepared speech, or you can talk about how Patrick Gudauskas should have won.
Well, I will talk about Patrick later, but I would like to thank Bob and the entire Hurley crew for bringing the world to this special place. This has been a park now for 42 years. There are only 8 more years left on the lease with the Marine Corps, and we hope to renew that lease for another 50 to 100 years so our grandchildren can come back and enjoy the same experience that we're having here. Your California state parks are places that we give to ourselves. They have a sense of place. And as you look around here, you know you're in a magic spot. This valley's been inhabited for nearly 9,000 years, and there is truly magic here, and these folks get it. Again, thank you, Hurley. You brought the world here, and you shared a state park that is truly a world treasure. Thank you all for being here.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Barry?
Well, there's a lot of thank yous being said here, but I just want to start out by thanking everyone that came, because without you, we're just standing here talking to ourselves. Looking at some good waves, though. Thank you to Bob, of course, his whole organization, to IMG, and in particular, I want to thank the 5 surfing philanthropists who went out and got some really nice waves with a legend right here, Mr. Machado. I'm buying in next year, by the way. That looked really nice. Seriously, those guys put their money where their mouth is. And my organization that I have the joy of being the president of is a group of passionate people that want to keep this place pristine. We have a lot of issues. Steve hit on a couple. But you folks, you human beings that came here, you each can do something to make sure that we're standing here year after year after year. So please go to our website and embrace us. We're passionate. We love it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Steve. Pat O'Connell, our contest director, has a few words to share with you, and I do mean a few.
Thanks, PK. Anyways, I think the guy said it the best. You guys are the best fans in the world, and without you, this event doesn't happen. We're truly blessed with amazing athletes and fans, and as Steve said, this is an amazing state park. And if you look around, there's not many places like this, and so we're really happy to celebrate this day with you guys, and proud to have another Hurley Pro at Lower Trestles.
Rob, you supposed to say something? Man, I wish Rob Machado would just say a few words. Say a few words, Rob Machado. What do you think of this place? What do you think of these people? You went out there and had a couple good cutbacks. What did you think of the event?
Oh, it was kind of blew my mind. You know, the level of surfing was through the roof, and you know, you guys came down, supported every day, and that's what makes it what it is. So it's a special place, and thanks for being here with us. And yeah, let's do this.
All right, let's have our 2 finalists come up on stage. They are Taj Burrow and Julian Wilson. We had a Phantom True Innovation event within the event. Ironically, you guys got to hit your marks. Oh, surfer number 1 and surfer number 2. You guys find your comfort zone over here. Taj Burrow over here. Get away from Rob. You know, end up growing long hair, and then what? Slow you down. We had a contest within the contest this week I got to tell you guys about. It's called the Phantom True Innovative Maneuver of the event. And the winner with the most ridiculous rotation I've ever seen yesterday just happened to be Julian Wilson, who is standing on stage right here. You win this Bob Hurley Rab 3 surfboard, complete with fins, which is really rare. We usually don't give out fins with those boards. And you also won, my friend, an all-expense-paid trip to Mark and Dave's in Nicaragua. Hope you enjoy that. And when I say all expenses, bring all your friends, hopefully. And congratulations to that. All right, so I'm going to announce the second place winner in this event. Second place at the Hurley Pro 2013 was Julian Wilson. In second place. You can put that down. Got a second place trophy for you, brother. Couple words real quick for the crowd. Julian, I know you've been doing webcast interviews all week, but sometimes the live crowd doesn't get to hear it. What'd you think of the event and having this final with Taj Burrow?
Yeah, the event was really fun. As always, we all kind of know what we're in for coming to Trestles. Like, the buzz is pretty crazy for all the guys on tour. So, you know, the swell wasn't incredible this year, but still the surfing was at that level that we all get excited about. A huge congrats to Taj. He's had a few cracks at it. He, you know, got it taken off him by Kelly in a tough one. So I knew there was some kind of, felt like it was his year to win this year, but I really didn't want him to. And I did everything I could, but yes, a few mistakes, just it wasn't enough to beat Taj. And yeah, huge congrats to him. A massive thank you to Hurley for always doing, you know, such an exceptional job on the event and putting the surfers first, and just crazy supporters of surfing. And there's some music. And Yeah, just thanks to State Parks for letting us come down here and play on this incredible wave, and thanks to my girlfriend for coming over, and Jimmy and my brother, and all the support that I get. And I'll say hi to my little Brixton, my brother's new little boy that I'm missing a lot. But yeah, incredible week. The level I think went up again. I was just trying to control my excitement before each heat, just try and bottle a little bit up. But yeah, it was an incredible event. A huge congrats to Taj, and really stoked for him, and stoked that he could get that notch on his belt that he said in his webisode earlier that he really wanted to get. So it was cool that he called it out and he made it happen. So yeah, I'm stoked for him.
All right, that's your runner-up, Julian Wilson. Congratulations. And with that, folks, there can only be one winner of this event. The winner of the 2013 Hurley Pro. Don't stop clapping. His name is Taj Burrow. Hashtag Team Taj. Let's get those Instagrams fired up, people. Anybody that puts up a picture of Taj, he's going to add you. He's going to start following you. Is there a check for this guy? Someone told me about $105,000, Pat O'Connell. I know that comes out of your salary. Somebody get this guy a Happy Gilmore-sized big fake check. Taj, what do you think of this check? Is that real?
I got to take it to the big bank.
Talk about winning that thing to the crowd, buddy. Tell them what you think.
Oh man, I couldn't be happier. Like a few people have said, I really wanted to tick this one off the list, and I put a lot of effort in the last few weeks, and it was so it was heavy. I mean, it was so intimidating seeing how much good surfing went down, and it was a tough task, but it just feels incredible to put that effort in and come out on top. It's unreal. I mean, I guess I want to thank a few people, obviously Hurley for putting on this event. You know, it's been one of my favourites since I've been on the World Tour. I haven't missed one, like they were saying in the commentary. And yeah, I got to tick it off the list now, and I'm just thrilled. But well, I got to thank my sponsors, of course. I mean, it's not often you get up on stage and win these events. They're so hard to win. So, the guys are the guys are so great that support me. I've got Billabong and Globe and Von Zipper and Dekine. I've got Nanotune and Tweeds, and I'm just Matt Violas made my board, so I'm just over the moon. But the best part about it is having you guys down here for sure, because all the cheering and stuff that goes on. I mean, even when it's not for me, although it's awesome when it is for me, but even when it's for Pat Gadauskas or whoever, it's just it's so awesome how passionate you guys are, and that you're just you're fans of surfing like myself, and it's sick that you guys are down here. So thanks.
Awesome. Congratulations, Taj. Whoa! That's Julian Wilson and Taj Burrow. Here's your photo op. Get those trophies over your head. If you can't lift it, we'll get Johnny Gannon to help you, Taj. Oh, he's able to lift it. Not a bad couple of days, huh, people? Hey, thank you guys again for coming out. Thank you so much. We love you people in the crowd, and thank you, competitors. Back to you, Sal.
Well, thanks, BK. And Taj Burrow set his sights. He manifested that this was the one that he had to win. And there's absolutely no question that he earned this and then some. A great performance from him, and just great surfing all week long. Julian Wilson, an absolutely perfect competitor to help Taj make it over that last hurdle. And guys, somehow or another, we started on Sunday, and it's over. I'm a little sad.
I get depressed right now. I just love these events. I love being a part of this event. I want to just quickly thank Hurley, obviously, transitions, the production crew, all the guys behind the scenes, amazing job. And then I really want to thank the surfers for putting on the show that they did, every single one of them. And I also want to thank them for having a high tolerance for all the jibber jabber we do in the booth about them, and showing up and blowing up. And here's what we got for the World Tour standings out of it.
A new leader in Mick Fanning, followed close behind, 1,200 points close behind by Kelly Slater, Jordy Smith, Taj, of course, Julian Wilson breaking further into that top 10, moves up to number 7. Nat Young, that rookie, the last of the rookies there in number 10. Your thoughts on this title race with 3 stops to go?
Well, it's so perfectly poised. One mistake from anyone, they're out of the running. A win from someone, they're in the running. Really, you look at your top 5 there, and they're all in with a chance. And it's game on. They're all the established names. They're the same guys who were there when we came into the event, and they're the same guys pretty much who were there last year, with the exception of John, who's replaced by Geordie. So it's the usual customers, the established guard who know the game and are the best in the world, and they've been the best in the world for over a decade, and they're going at it, hammer and tong at each other. So, Quicksilver Pro in France is the next event, and it's going to be a beauty. Don't miss it.
Yeah, France and Portugal just got a whole lot cooler. And if you're wondering when to set your calendars, there you go. Hossegor, France for that Quick Pro, September 26th through October 6th. And they go back-to-back once again, right straight into Portugal, October 9th to 20th.
And you know the amazing thing? It's going to come down to the pipe. That's what this sets up. You look at it and you go, I think this world title's coming down to the pipeline.
Please, please, please. That's what we wish for. Taj Burrow, he's going to celebrate tonight as he should. A great week from him. And I got to say, guys, it has been an absolute pleasure and honor to serve with you guys all week long. And, of course, you got to say to Bugs, Rabbit Bartholomew was with us as well. Joe Chappelle, Pat Parnell, everybody putting in the extra work. All of our behind-the-scenes technical crew, our director, Stevie Lawrence, Kemp Curley, and the whole transition staff. We say thank you. All the behind-the-scenes folks online, our digital crew, these kids working behind us in little cubicles to help continue to bring you the best webcast possible. That is it for us here at the Hurley Pro 2013. For Barton Lynch, Saxon,
high fives, guys.
High fives all around.
Thank you, boys. And to the surfers, as you said, Sax, that was the best small wave performance I've ever seen. The surfing those kids done this week has never been done before. Not to that level, not with that consistency. It was brilliant.
Said by a legend, a world champ in Barton Lynch. Game, set, match on the Hurley Pro 2013. I'm Sal Masekela, and we will see you next time. Nice big blowtail slash from Kai Otten.
Sweeping roundhouse cutback for Josh Kerr, getting good distance on this thing. This standing up and offering Josh Kerr great scoring potential. Fins out, brings it around. Beautiful wave for Josh Kerr.
Michel Perez, big hook right off the top, off the bottom again. How's that rail turn? Powering through that section. He's going to fade back one more time and just seal the deal.
Well, here we are. We started with 36, and we are down to 2. Taj Burrow and Julian Wilson in our final. With priority, Julian going back to work and surfing this thing with some ferocity. Big blowtail and recovers and smashes that end section.
Taj is looking. He's got a decision to make.
He opts to go left, looking for a 6-2-7. A nice big smash on that first turn. Throwing a big bucket of water, putting all he could into that third turn.